Sebi, delighted to welcome you onto the Big T. I think this is your first time on the podcast. Is that right?
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
We invited you because you got a bit of momentum. It's been a nice week for you in Delray, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. Hopefully I come more often. That means I'm doing pretty well now. It was definitely a great week. I think a great month, honestly. I went to go play a Challenger, made finals there, had a great week in Dallas, and definitely a cool experience to win in Delray for sure.
Well, what was kind of your decision making? Because you, like you just said, you went down, played a Challenger after the Australian Open in San Diego. Why did you make that choice to kind of just take that step back and get going at the Challenger?
Yeah, I would say since coming back on tour after my leg injury, it was definitely, I think, the darkest time in my tennis career. I was just getting a lot of anxiety when I was coming back in court. So disconnected from playing matches and feeling those nerves when you're playing and kind of getting discouraged by it. And I just felt like it was the right time to throw myself in the fire just to get back into playing competitive tennis. Whether I would have lost first round or won the whole tournament, it was just being in that environment. And my coach decided that it was the right thing to do, go and play. I'm grateful that I went through that, and just started to find my form, and hopefully I can keep playing good tennis.
So a couple of things. One, where are you at physically? That you've had a lot of time away from the game, and where are you at there? And then a new coaching relationship with Ryan Harrison, who you must have seen a lot growing up at the IMG Academy. And how was that working out?
Yeah, right now, I'm honestly feeling the best physically that I've felt in the last couple of years. Hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, just excited to play tennis. And obviously with Ryan, he played at IMG for most of his professional career, and he was around there, and I was looking for another coach to do the weeks that my other coach Martin couldn't do. I thought Ryan was a great fit for me. Lives close by in Bradenton. We did the whole training block together preseason, and just really fired up to have him in my corner. He's a big help for me when I'm playing on matches, and so far we've had some great weeks together for sure.
You had some good numbers in Delray. I was just looking at some of the sort of compared to your sort of ATP hardcourt record across the course of your career. Generally, you hold around 83% of times. Decent numbers in Delray. You were at 92%. I was looking at your first serve points won, 73% on average on the tour. On hard, 80 during Delray. But also, encouragingly, your break percentage went up as well. You were like at 22% on average, went to 30. So not only were you serving better, but you were returning better. What are the kind of keys, or what have you been working on with Ryan? What's kind of allowed you to have a week that is that substantial? We look at players and it's 1 or 2%. Those are some significant jumps.
Yeah, well, honestly, it just comes down to practice. I went from probably 2022 to honestly, preseason, where I was practicing maybe an hour and a half a day. My wrist couldn't take it. I went by 2 years without hitting a forehand volley in practice, couldn't hit a forehand return. Now just getting comfortable and hitting those practice routines, going through matches, and just feeling comfortable. I think that's probably the biggest thing, and especially with injuries, it's such a mental thing to go through, because I went 3 years of severe wrist pain, and to kind of just trust it again hasn't been the easiest thing. But now just practicing, feeling good on a court, and having the right people around me, and just being free out there. Before, a lot of people would bully on my forehand a little bit. Now I'm trying to swing at it a little bit more, just go after it, and just really enjoying myself on court right now.
You are enjoying yourself because this kind of your off-court life. I know you just got engaged coming up in October. Has that helped a bit?
Yeah, for sure. That's probably my biggest win. I've known my fiance since I was 9 years old. Been dating, or I don't know, how would you even say it right now? Are we still dating? I don't know. We've been together for 5 years. She travels with me most of the weeks, and it just makes it so much easier for me.
See, I tell my fiance every once in a while we're still dating, so you got to still work your way in.
You
Speak of your family. Obviously, you come from an incredibly sporting family. Do your sisters kid you a little bit? Do you give them a little bit of grief? How does that work out? And do you know how many times I played your pop in tennis? Have you ever popped on a YouTube video of me?
And what's the record?
You don't know the record?
No.
And I told the guys, if you lost to your pop, he would do that annoying split jump. And he did it to me once in Davis Cup. He did about 7 of them. 4-3 him.
4-3 him. All right, there we go.
Very annoying. But do you give your sisters grief? Do they give you grief?
No, I mean we're all in different parts of our lives right now. And my oldest sister's, she just had a child 2 years ago, so she's on mom duties most of the time, and was in Delray Beach. Luckily, she lives close to there. So, and then Nellie's obviously just doing well almost every single week. So she's been killing it the last couple of years, and big inspiration for me. Just to see the amount of the hard work that she puts in every single day. Blocks out the noise as much as you can, and does what she thinks is right for her. And it's been a big help for me for sure.
Mum and Dad, obviously great tennis players. Everyone will sit back and just make the assumption that obviously is a great thing. It has to be a great thing that you've had 2 amazing parents as well. Has there been a little bit of a negative with it as well?
Well, I guess the negative would be that I can't. I guess the only negative would be that they know all the answers because they've gone through it. They know everything I've gone through. Injuries, losses. Yeah, anything that goes through. I mean, in tennis, they've gone through it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of positives, but my parents want to be my parents. They don't really want to be my coaches anymore. And just super happy to that they would take the step back and just let me learn from my experiences. And if I ever have a question, they're always there, front and center and ready to go.
Who's the better golfer between you and your dad?
My dad.
I know he's been playing with your sister in that event. I'm waiting for you to knock him off that pedestal.
I haven't gotten the call up.
Jeez,
There's something wrong
you
over
gotta
there.
get better. Come on.
I know. I've been, not a lot of golf in my life right now, but my dad's playing pretty well. I mean, he's almost scratch, and he gets ready every year for that tournament, and he looks forward to it a lot. So it's a lot of fun watching them. But I'd like to get the call up in the next 10 years or something. Come on.
So there's a lot of American guys now in the top 100. We got a lot in the top 20. Where do you feel your game is headed right now? And what are your goals for this year other than being healthy?
My only goal is to stay healthy, man. Come on. I haven't had a full season in 3-4 years. So, ultimately that's the number one goal. I'd like to play a full season. Just enjoy it as much as I can. It goes by pretty quick. I mean, this is my 6th year on tour. So, don't want to take things for granted. Keep enjoying it. But American tennis is doing really well right now. I feel like, when one American has a good week, then another one backs it up the next week. And I think it's a really healthy competition that we have going on. Bennett and Taylor in Dallas, and I did well in Delray, and then Francis last week. So hopefully we can keep going, keep pushing, going deep in tournaments, and keep getting these big wins.
Well, at BNP Paribas, it's always a tough event because of the conditions, like you were talking about. It's been a big conversation, and having a player here about the change of the balls and also how it affects on the weather. How have you felt it's all been going about?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to get here a couple days earlier for sure. I mean, this is one of the most important tournaments in terms of conditions. I think it's super tough to play here, but if you find your form here, I think you can do really well. If you serve really well, if you return really well, it makes your life definitely a lot easier here. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. I mean, these balls get massive to serve here. I mean, you kind of feel your elbow, your shoulder a little bit more than most tournaments, but you got to stay patient here. I think that's the biggest key. I mean, if you kind of get onto the negative side a little bit more, you're not going to have a lot of fun here.
Is patience in the cards for you, Sebi?
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be this week. This week, it definitely needs to be. I mean, it's not. This is one of the toughest places I think that we have on the tour to play for sure.
Do you look at the draw? We have a lot of players that come up here. Don't tell me the draw. I can't look at the draw. Can you actually look at the draw? One player I coached, Andre, could look at the entire draw, no problem. So you look and dissect it. And how much, when Mark was talking to you about numbers, do you look at those yourself and the data, or do you rely more on your coach for that?
No, I mean, I definitely look at the numbers as well. But I love looking at the draws. I love watching tennis. I always have tennis on. I think sometimes I watch a little bit too much tennis.
Your poor fiance.
She loves it. She always says, can we turn on the tennis when I'm about to fall asleep? And she kind of sleeps with it. But yeah, I mean, I would say more tennis than most people on tour. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I really love the game of tennis, and I'm always looking at the draws, looking at things, and just obsessed with it.
Do you have a favorite player?
Do I have a favorite player to watch? I do have a favorite player, actually. Dane Sweeney.
Really?
Yeah, I love watching Dane Sweeney. I mean, he
He's
throws
like
his
a
body.
very real small
but
Aussie.
he throws his body around. I actually watch his YouTube channel a little bit. Shout out to him. But yeah, I mean, he throws himself around. I like watching the complete opposite of me. So I'm not throwing my body around there and
Does he dive
doing
as much
full
as,
splits.
Does he dive as much as Kozlov?
Honestly, I don't think anyone dives as much as Dane Sweeney. I think he's up there. I'd love to watch him play on grass because I mean he throws himself around on hard court and clay court, anything. But I love watching Jack Draper as well. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's going to do really well when he's healthy, and yeah, I love watching him play as well.
Well, Sebi, I think we have a little bit of a pull because Tennis Channel just has a year subscription for $77, so we can kind of give you a little bit of a subscription nod, but I think you also can afford that $77. But
For the entire year.
Do we not throw that out for free for him coming on the big T?
Yeah, can I get something?
I mean, we
It's like
could.
$6.50 a month.
Okay, numbers guy. All right, easy. That math was too quick for me. My public education in California wasn't ready for that one.
The stock trader amongst us is sitting there. So just quickly, you've had a lot of injuries. They seem, when you look from the outside looking in, that they've been a lot of bad luck. Is that how you felt, or is there anything that you've changed to try and stay away from getting injuries?
Yeah, I mean, luck. I don't know. Definitely, I've gone through that rabbit hole of why me. I think you need to pull yourself out of that as much as you can. You can really go down a dark hole and just be in that pissy mood all the time. But yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for all the experience I've went through. I think I came out better than before the stuff I went in with, and just grateful to be in the position that I'm in. Grateful to be playing tennis again, and hopefully I can stay injury free, practice as much as I can, and just keep enjoying it.
Sebi, I want to know how BNP Paribas is a fifth major. Everyone enjoys coming here, but what are you looking forward to in these next 2 weeks that you're going to be here? It doesn't even have to be at the tennis court; it could be off the court. Because I played a little golf this morning, and it was pretty nice out there.
Oh, of course it is. Actually, I'd love to play some golf. That wouldn't be a bad idea here. But honestly, I think the most thing I'm excited for is just learning again. I think I did a great job of went through some things in Dallas, having a close match with Taylor. I think I did a great job with using that experiences that I went through in Delray, and hopefully keep doing the right things, keep enjoying it, and just excited to battle again. I think that's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most here.
Good luck here, buddy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Don't take Coco's money on the course.
Move up the family
I got
rankings in
alligator
golf.
arms when it comes to getting the wallet,
Come on.
Thanks, Evie.
Thank you, guys.